So I think I have to speak in English, huh? Okay. Samanta Chakravalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Saddhamman Muni Rajasa Sunantu Sagga Mokkadang Dhammasavana Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhammasavana Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhammasavana Kalo Ayang Badanta Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Friends in the Dhamma, it's such a great privilege for me to be here with you. So I thank Swami and her husband for giving us this opportunity. This very, very lovely atmosphere here. Everything so beautiful. And in spite of the weather, it was raining cats and dogs yesterday. And today it's keeping fine. So, I thought I will talk to you about the Karaniya Metta Sutra, which is often recited by all, maybe all over the world, because it is entirely Buddha word, very original Buddha word. There is a little story behind it. It seems 500 monks, they thought they must do strenuous meditation. They went to the jungle, and India is such a vast place, so it seems they sat under trees and they were meditating. But they just couldn't meditate because there was such a lot of disturbances. They heard fearful noises, animals, and all kinds of things. They were so frightened, they could do no meditation. And for 3 months they suffered in the jungle. At the end of the 3 months, they went back to the Buddha and said, none of us were able to meditate or do anything. We were so frightened, we didn't know how to stay. Then the Buddha said, to see, there were tree gods, Rukdevi. They didn't like these monks sitting under the trees. And they wanted to drive them away. And it seems they purposely made weird sounds and fearful sights and sounds and made them frightened. Then the Buddha said, you learn this sutra and chant this sutra morning and evening, all of you. Go back to the same jungle. Don't worry, these are deities who have got angry with you for trespassing their territory, and ask them to go back. And it is all of them went back. But in the morning and evening they chanted Karaniya Metta Sutra. Now the gods became so friendly and they came to support these monks. They went and told all the villagers here, so many monks have come to your village, you better support them, give them arms, give them all the facilities they need. So the villagers brought food and water and they cleared all the places and made it so comfortable for them. And now the monks were able to sit and meditate. And it seems at the end of the 3 months, they all became arahants. They were able to fulfill all their meditation. You see. And then this is the story behind the sutra. So this meditation is on loving kindness. How to spread loving kindness to the whole world. So in Sri Lanka, all over the world, we chant this sutra, but most of them don't understand the meaning of the words. They are Pali sutras. So I'll try to explain to you how important it is, this sutra. This sutra speaks about how to lead a human life, how to be happy in this world, and how to be economically stable as lay people, and also how to reach up to Nibbana. So this sutra is a compendium, like a complete sutra by itself. Karaniya, metta, kusala. Shall we chant the sutra? All of you know. Karaniya, metta, kusalena, yantan santa, padang abhisameta, sakko ujuja sujuja, suacho chasa, mutu anatimani. Santusakocha subarocha appakichocha sallaukavati santindriyocha nipakocha appagabbo kulesu ananugito nacha kuddang samachare Kinchiye vinyu pare upavadeyo Sukhino va keminontu Sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitatta Eke shipan bhutatti tasava thavarava anavasesa digavaye mahantava majjima rasa kanukatula dittavayeva additta yecha dure vasanti avidure Bhutava sambhave siva sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitatta na paro parang nikubeta nati manyeta kattachinang kanchi Vyarosana patigasanya nanya manyasa dukkhamicce matayata nyamputta ayusa ekaputta manuvakye evam pisabba bhutesu Manasambhav ye aparimana mettancha sabbalokasmin Manasambhav ye aparimana Uddhang adusha tiriyam asambadam aveva asapattam Sabbe satta bhavantu sukhita. Mettancha sabbalokasmi manasambhavaye aparimanam uddang adosatiriyan asambadam avera asapattam tittang charan nisinova sayanova yavatassa vigatami etang sating aditteya brahmametang viharang idamaho dittincha anupagama silava dasanen sampanno kamesu vinayageda nahijatu gabbaseya punaveti. Sadhu කියන්නේ. Now I will try to give you the meaning of this Pali stanza. It's so important. Karaniya, kalayutu, that's what must be done. Karani. Atta kusala, atta means arthika vidya, economy. For worldly economy, what you should do for worldly living. Atta kusalena means clever. Kusal kya hai? Kausalya. It means clever. You have to be clever. And do this kind of thing if you want to succeed in life. Santam padam is Santa pada is Nivana. And also you can get Nibbana, Santa pada. Also reach up to Nibbana. Abhisamechika to get enlightened in Nibbana. Sakko, first thing is Sakko. Ujucha, Sujucha. What is Sakko? Sakko is Haki. Haki. No, Haki means Naki. Naki is Haki. So you have to be able. You have to be clever. You have to be able. Dakshata Vyakti, efficiency, strength. This Dhamma is for those who are able and who have the strength. Sakko kyane hakiyav, who are clever. Ujucha, sujucha. Uju means irichu. It means straight. Vanka, avanka. Vanka is crooked. You have to be straight, honest, irichu. And you, sujucha means very straight. You have to be very straight, very honest, very clever. Sakko, ujucha, sujucha. Suvacha. Suvacha, what is the meaning of suvacha? Suvacha means willing to listen. Now, you are willing to listen, otherwise I can't speak to you. So you can't get education unless you are a person who is willing to listen. So, suvacha means kikaru, and willing to listen and take the discipline. Murtu anati mani. Murtu, molok. You must be soft and malleable, not hard and difficult. You must be easy and soft and willing to listen. Murdu, molok. Anati mani, na atimani, anatimani. Manena tuindu, without pride and prejudice, without conceit. You must be very humble and willing to take the discipline. So, we have just started. I will go through that. Sakko means clever, able, daksha, efficient. Sakko. Uju means straight and suju means very straight. Suvacha means willing to listen, kikaru. Mudu means you have to be very soft and malleable, not hard, easy to speak to. Anatimani means you have to give up your pride and prejudice. Actually, that's exactly what you have done today. You are seated on the ground and you are giving me a big place here. You have to humble yourself and then try to get whatever the intelligence, the wisdom of the Buddha. Anatimani, if you are proud and haughty, you will say, I know better, I don't want to listen to this. So you don't get the benefit of those who know. So when you are willing to listen, you can always get the wisdom from others. Because as when we are born into this world, actually we know nothing. We are just crawling on the ground and picking up dirt and eating that also. We know nothing. Everything has to be told. So our parents, everybody, they keep on teaching us again and again. And if you are not willing to listen, nobody can teach you. So you have to be very gentle and willing to listen. Lights together. Santussa kocha. Santutti. Santutti is Satuta. Satuta. You have to be always happy. Always happy. Never unhappy. Santussa kocha. Be satisfied. Annekai. Always be satisfied. Think of all your assets. I have so much. I have 2 eyes, I have ears, I have a good mind, a brain, eyes, so I can walk about, I can do things. I'm satisfied with whatever I have. So I don't grumble about things I don't have. I'm happy. It has happened to me now, because I am now 88, I can hardly walk. But I am so satisfied I still can give a talk like this. And it can be worse, because you can be bedridden. That means you need other people to help you with your life. So I can be happy with all this trouble. I am still able to perform. So like that, count your blessings and be satisfied with whatever you have. That is santussa. Suparocha, subhara. Bara means don't carry a heavy burden. Don't carry a burden. Now what is subhara? Easily maintained. You remember Mrs. Marcos, she had so many thousand pairs of shoes, no? So that is very difficult to maintain. If you have 1 pair of shoes, it's easy now. If you have a whole wardrobe full, and you have so many things to do. So to be easy and without a weight. Subhara. Actually, the Buddha has given the monks the Sapatta Bharova deity. Just like the bird who carries only the weight of his wings, no luggage. Just like that, the monks are expected to carry only their bowl and robes and go any distance, don't carry luggage. So that, of course, is something for us to think about. The minimum weight, subhara, the minimum barak නැතුව ඉන්න ඕනේ. With less wants. Subharocha, appakicca, alpakritya, that means little to do. That is to say, you don't have a profession that takes all your energy, that you are so reduced to matured at the end of the day. Too many things to do. So have little things. Appakicca, alpakritya. Don't have too many things to do. So you have no time for yourself, you have no time for the family, you have no time to do some dhamma. You are fully engrossed with your profession. So the Buddha says, have an easy profession. Take time off for yourself to enjoy life, to have your own freedom, to do things you like. Yeah? So, appakicca is that. Sallauka vutti also means the same thing. Vutti means your profession. Sahallu, easy, not demanding. Now, if you have a demanding profession, you have to keep to the deadline, you have to work day and night. So it taxes you. Then I can see, now when I go abroad, I can see how people are working 12 hours a day. They do overtime. At the end of the day, there is nothing to eat. Then they have to defrost. And that also they eat in front of the TV. No family life, no enjoyment, no time to enjoy. So because the profession is so demanding, true, you get a lot of money, but even then, the Buddha says not to do that. Sallahuka utti. Santindriyocha. Santa Indriya. What is Indriya? The 6 sense organs. Can you say? The eye, ear, nose, tongue, bodily touch, and mind. Mind is asa, kana, chakku, sota, gana, jiva, kaya, mana. Mana is memory. These are the 6. Indriya means they are the 6 doorways through which we communicate with the outside world. With the eye we see sights, sounds, smell, taste, bodily touch, and also memory. So the 6 sense organs, they are called ayatana. You remember yesterday, that day we were talking about ayatana is a workshop. It's a huge workshop. Eye is a huge workshop that is working all the time. Ear to get sound, and how to get the sound transmitted, and how to make sense of the sound, of the sight, to recognize and to respond. There's a big workshop, Karmanta Salava, a factory. Eye, ear, these 6 sense organs. Santa Indriya. What is Santa? Santa means subdued. Santa means what? Indriya. Just because these things are there, we must not use them. Because you must use them judiciously, not to overdo it. That is to say, just because the eyes are there, don't look all over and get into trouble. You have to be focused. By listening to all kinds of gossip and things, your mind becomes distorted. Don't listen just because the TV and the radio and newspapers. Don't take in rubbish just because you can hear. Don't take in rubbish from the ear. Don't see all the unnecessary stuff. But that you are controlled in the senses. Santa Indriya. Don't go for all the smells, don't go for all the tastes. Be satisfied with the minimum. Because if you take it, then your mind is in turmoil. Whole time you are responding to those things, and then you don't rest and relax. And touch. Don't be mad about bodily touch. Just because it gives you some pleasure, you have to be controlled in the bodily touch. For instance, now sex, you are permitted to have your legitimate sex, but if it is some outside, now I remember a little story, I don't know, I must have told you before. In Australia, I was talking to a crowd, they were all doctors. They planned to stump me. Then they came and asked me, Bhikkhuni, has the Buddha denied sex, sensual pleasure? I said, no, I don't think the Buddha denied. For lay people, they have sensual pleasure. They enjoy the senses. Then they ask, what about extramarital happiness? Must you stay with your own spouse, or can't we have joy? I said, well, you can do it, but are you satisfied with one good feeling? Then it will lead to another and another and another. And what is going to happen to your character? Whole time your mind is always preoccupied, and your loving family is left high and dry. Then how is your mind? You will be so confused all the time. I didn't have to say much, they withdrew their question. So just because these things are available, don't indulge. That is the meaning. Huh? Don't indulge in unnecessary pleasures. So have your pleasures just enough to keep you happy, not overdo anything. So these are things that the Buddha said. Can you imagine what the Buddha said for ordinary lay people? Santindriyocha, Santa Indriya. If you will tell me the next one, it is. Santa Indriya means be restrained in the senses. Hot, no, darling? Fan. So, Santindriyocha, and think, even the mind. Just because the things come to your mind, don't think. Give up all thinking is rubbish. If you are thinking of the past, you are thinking of the future, and of no use to you. Just because you remember all the past and the future, don't indulge. Because the past is dead and gone, you can never get it back. The future has not yet come. So why do you waste your time thinking about the past and the future? Don't keep thinking. Stop your thinking also. Why so? The Buddha has said these things. Just because you can see, don't see. Just because you can hear, don't hear. So do in restraint, controlled in your senses. So when you are thinking unnecessary things about how somebody hurt you or something, then anger comes. Or if you think of the past, how people were so nice and kind and some sensual satisfaction, then you will want again and again. So you will become so foolish to go behind things that are gone. So we have to be controlled in our senses. Santindriyocha. Is that what it is? It's the Nipakocha. Nipaka means wisdom. Anicca, dukkha, anatta. You have to understand that everything is changing. The body is changing, the mind is changing. It is not the same for 2 consecutive moments, anicca. And the environment is changing. So if you say, now you have changed, it is normal. People change for the better, they change for the worse. Sometimes they think wrong, sometimes they think right. So it's a changing phenomenon. Anitya. Dukkha means pain and suffering. This is also a signata that is obvious to human beings. We can see pain and suffering everywhere. The mind brings pain and suffering. The body brings pain and suffering. The environment brings pain and suffering. So you have to understand that is the nature of life and living. Don't be surprised if there is pain and suffering. It is normal. Now I had to undergo pain and suffering. 2 of my children died. And then I, as a mother, felt so bad, but I thought, my God, this is not anything peculiar to me. The whole world is suffering like this. Their children are dying, husbands are dying, wives are dying, mothers are dying, fathers are dying. This is the nature of the world. This is not anything peculiar to me. This is the pain and suffering. That is, you have to understand that that's the nature of the world. If there is no pain and suffering, then it's a good world to live in. But this is the past, present and future. An absolute truth is pain and suffering. Anicca, dukkha. Anatta, the non-self nature. I have no control. I can't stop death. I can't stop old age. I can't stop sickness in spite of all the medicines. Still you can be very sick. And I can't stop birth. So you have to understand that these things are beyond my powers, anatma. So many things. This is not. When you understand this is the three signata, anicca, dukkha, anatta, the impermanence, the pain and suffering, and the non-self nature. Because of causes and conditions, we are here. The mind works because of causes and conditions. The body works because of causes and conditions. Without the causes and conditions, it doesn't work. Just like now there is a seed. For it to germinate, you have to have soil, you must have moisture, heat, and all the requirements. Then only it will sprout, otherwise it won't. So those conditions are necessary for it to grow. Just like that, so many conditions are necessary for us to live. You can't even count the number of things you have to have. Food, house, air, water, heat. So many conditions must be right. If even one condition is not there, you can't live. If there is too much rain, it will get flooded, finish, you can't. It will be a tsunami. If you have too much heat, it will be like the desert, you can't live. So you have to have the right amount of all the conditions. Otherwise you can't live. That is anatta, the non-self nature. I can't have all the things the way I want, because the causes and conditions must be there. So, they are beyond my control. So, that is Mugada Subarocha. Nipakocha. Nipakocha means anicca, dukkha, anatta, the wisdom. The absolute reality of life and living. Nipakocha appagabbo kulesu ananugitu. Don't be attached. This is mostly for monks. What the Buddha meant is don't be attached to particular families just because they are good and giving you all the benefits and requisites. Don't be attached. Be wary. That is not to be thinking about your clan or your... be open, all human beings. They all need the same kind of requisites. So, don't make yourself special. We are also one of the human beings that are sharing the things of the earth. So, kulesu ananugiddo. Giddo kyane gijulli. Don't be greedy for yourself and your own people, your family, your clan. Don't be greedy. So treat your people as much as you treat others. Be wary. Ananugiddo. Not giddo means giju. It means greedy. Kulesu ananugiddo. Kula වලට අල වෙලා ඉන්න එපා. නච කුද්දං සමාචරේ කිංචි ඒන විඤ්ඤු පරේ උපවදෙය්‍යම්. Kuddam means little, Shudra, little. Samachari, Achara, Samachara. It means your behavior. Don't behave even with the slightest wrong behavior can put you into trouble. Your behavior must be perfect, very fitting to the occasion. If you are going to a dancing party, then you better dance. Don't stay there morose. No? If you are going to a wedding, enjoy that. But here, you can't laugh or talk. Here you are very silent and observant. So fitting to that environment, you have to behave. And don't do anything. Vinyu upavadayu. It means where the wise sanction. Wise means the Buddha and the Arahant. If they say don't do this, then stay by that. For instance, the Buddha will say, don't misconduct, sexual misconduct. Then you better stay with that, because there are some rules and disciplines in the world which should be observed. Don't go against the grain. So when the social convention demands something, then you have to stay with the social convention. Don't speak out of turn, don't act out of turn, don't behave in an improper way. So imagine what the Buddha has said to ordinary all of us. So be well behaved, so that in any society you are a respected person, because you behave in the proper way. So this is a thing for today. So your dress has to be, for instance, you can't go to the wedding house in your ordinary clothes. You jolly well have to wear all your jewelry and makeup and all. You can't insult those people. So your behavior has to be appropriate to that place. And if you have to go to a funeral house, you can't go with all your finery and all the glamour. You have to go in a fitting style. That's what the Buddha says. So you have to behave in the proper way, so that nobody will sanction you. So then, Vinyu means that the wise people will sanction. Upavada karanavadu. Upavada karana kene bainoi kene. The good and noble will sanction you for behaving like that. So you better stay with the society, social demands, how to live. Huh? Don't go against the grain. Sukhi nova kemino. It's only after that the Maitri Bhavana begins. When you have fulfilled those conditions, Sukhi nova kemino hontu. May the whole world of living beings be Sukhi nova, well and happy. May they be well and happy. Kemino is forgiving or tolerating. I can give a little example. Now when you Kema Shema Bhumiya kiyanne, when you are traveling in the desert, you come to oasis. So these animals and all the people are so dry and parched and tired, and they have traveled in the desert. Then when they come to an oasis, they have water to drink and they are thirsty, and you cook and eat and they rest and relax. That is the thing. So, like coming to an oasis. So, Kevino is Ivasanda Puluvan. Now that desert is impossible to tolerate, but here it is easy, comfortable. So you have to be comfortable. May all people be well and happy, comfortable and easy easy to live, not hard and difficult. Untu sabbe satta bhavantu sukhita. May all living beings be well and happy. Now this is your metta bhavana starting. May the whole world of living beings be well and happy. Yekechi pana bhutati. Yekechi, yam, whatever. Pana bhuta means pranayatyena. Any living being, prana bhuta. Tasava, now we are talking about a list of living beings, categorizing a list of living beings. Prana bhuta, animals, whoever. So the Buddha enumerates a whole list of living beings. Yeketi pana bhutasti. Some of them, tasava thavarava. He divides it into two. Some are fearful, some are fearless. So the whole lot of living beings in this world, some are fearful, some are fearless. Who are the fearful people? Who are the fearless people? All of us are fearful. We are so fearful of sickness, death. We are so fearful of poverty and discomfort. No? If something goes wrong, we are very unhappy. Who are the fearless people? Huh? The Arahants. Now see, the Buddha divides all living beings into two categories. Those that are fearful, those are fearless. The fearless ones sit on the chair. The fearless ones are the Arahants. Imagine, only two kinds of people in this world. The fearful ones and the fearless ones. All of us are the fearful ones. Until you become Arahant, you are fearful. Arahant is fearless because he doesn't mind. Nothing can disturb him. If he dies also, he doesn't care. Tasava tavarava anavasesa, with sesyak natu ekyan, without exception. Digava mahanta, those living beings with long bodies, like serpents, and they have long bodies. Mahantava, huge bodies, like elephants, rhinoceros, and huge elephants, huge bodies. Majjhima, middle-sized bodies. So all the living beings are categorized according to their size. Long, huge, middle-sized, majjhima, rasa, short. Short like the Ibba. He has a short body. Rasa, kanuka, tula, anu, paramanu. They are microscopic. So their bodies are microscopic. So many different varieties of living beings by size. Kanuka, Tula, fat, Stula, But then dittava eva additta. Those that can be seen and unseen. Now all of us have bodies which can be seen, but there are bodies which cannot be seen, like divine beings, like ghosts. Now there are many bhuta, many who don't live on solid food. Only those who live on solid food, their bodies are gross and can be seen. But there are other kinds of living beings who live in air, all kinds of other kinds, which we cannot see because the bodies are transparent. We can't see them. Now because there is air around us, we can't see air. Because it is transparent, we can't see. So those that can be seen and unseen. Then, yesha dure vasanti avidure. Those that are living far away in the hell of heaven, millions of miles away in a different planet or I don't know what, different world system. Dure, in the heaven or hell or something like that, far away. Avidure, those living close by. So all living beings are divided into two. Those living far and those living near. Bhutava sambhave siva. Those that are born and unborn. Now see how the Buddha categorizes all living beings. Either they are born or unborn, waiting to be born. They are living in the egg, waiting, or in the mother's womb, not yet born. Huh? So, all living beings are divided into two categories, born and unborn. So, then, sabbe satta bhavantu sukhita. May all those beings be well and happy. Now into this list of living beings, is there anything that the Buddha excludes? All living beings are included. Huh? Such a perfect list of all living beings. Sabbe satta bhavantu sukhita. May all living beings be well and happy when you say. It refers to all these living beings. Seen, unseen, far away, close by. Long body, short body, born, unborn, all these living beings. Huh? Sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitatva. Then, na paro parang nikubbeta. What is the meaning of that? A lot of people don't know. Para apara. Para කියන්නේ අනුන් කියන එක. අපara. One another. Huh? Na paro parang. Na nikubbeta. Which is a very important word. I don't know whether you have heard about it. Nikubbati. It's a Pali word. It means ravattandepa. Not to deceive one another by telling falsehood. Don't deceive. Such a person will never become enlightened. If you deceive people by all kinds of false propaganda, all kinds, I suppose that is there in the world today, no? Deception at that level. Their marketing, their advertisements, trying to deceive you to buy their things. Huh? all kinds of deception. එතකොට රවට්ටන්න එපා කියලා තියෙනවා. So don't mislead people by false propaganda, by false speech, by බොරු පොරොන්දු දෙනවනේ. What do you call that? Promises, false promises, all kinds of things. So, ඒක තමයි කියන්නේ නිකුබ්බේත. May they never deceive each other by false promises, by misleading them. Nati manyeta kattachinan kanchi. Ati manyeta means don't think highly of yourself and low of others. So I am educated, they are not. I am rich, they are poor. No categorizing between people. I am good looking, they are ugly. Not to measure. I am of a high caste or clan, they are low. Or I am Magasilio, I am virtuous. They are not. I keep the precepts. You don't keep the precepts. So that way, don't put yourself on a higher plane and despise others. Right? That is to say, na ati manyeta. Tamam usas karala anu pahat karande pa. Ati manyeta kattachinan kanchi. Never. Don't ever think that you are great and the other one is bad. That you are good, other one is bad. So we have to be very careful when you sanction people. Because when you seek faults in others, obviously it means that you are good and they are bad. So not to measure, not to find fault. And now the Buddha didn't see the fault of Angulimala, the worst criminal under the sun, because he had the potential to become an arahant. So how can we sanction anybody? There is nobody as bad as that. So we must not abuse or find fault with others. Loketa vanin narakai. Because in the worst of them, still there can be good, which we don't understand. So this is a good lesson. Nati manyeta kattachinan kanchi. Never. Don't find fault with others and keep yourself on a higher pedestal. Bhya rosana patiga sanya. This is very interesting. What is rosana? Rosvenava kya? Ros paros. What is the meaning of that? Anger. Patiga sanya. Sanya can sign. What is patiga sanya? Anger signs. What are the anger signs? When you are angry, how is your face? Nice, smiling. Huh? No, your face looks long, long face. When you are angry, then your eyes, you start crying. Particular sign. That's a sign of anger. Then your speech, you speak so fast and loud, showing you are angry. That's a sign of anger. Patika sanya. then you are walking nicely or running and shouting and banging doors and all kinds of things. So those all become patika sanya. Your face, your speech, your actions are showing that there is anger in your heart. Patika sanya is that. Anger signs. Bhyarosana again, Sara, Rosset, Sara, yani wild. When you are wild with anger, Bhyarosana. Wild with anger, don't show. Your,
crying is a sign of...
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes being silent is also a sign of anger. Atanokari, akabani. So you turn your head, you turn your shoulder or something. They are all signs of anger. Don't show signs of anger. Balan. Speaking is also a sign of anger. Not speaking is also a sign of anger. Imagine. Patika sanya. Na anya manyasa dukkha nichaya. Anyang, one another. Na dukkha nichaya. Don't give pain and suffering to one another by show of anger. So when you're angry, what to do? Not to show your anger. What to do? What must you do when you're angry?
See that you are angry.
Know that you are angry. That is vipassana. You have to shift your focus to your inner self and understand, now I am angry. Now my mind is angry. Don't speak with the angry mind. Don't behave with the angry mind. There is anger. Yesterday also I was trying to explain to the people, they are very ordinary people I had. Supposing there is a snake or cobra under your bed. You don't see it and you don't know. And then you nicely close up the house and go to sleep. But there is a serpent under your bed. Very dangerous, isn't it? So if you don't see it, if you don't know it, you can't get rid of it. How can you get rid of it if you don't see? Are janato passato matakada? Janato is to know it, passato is to see it. You better see, know it and see it. Know that there is a serpent under your bed and see it. Otherwise you can't get rid of it. Isn't that marvelous? Now what is the serpent under the bed? Anger. Anger is underground. It has now come up. Then only you can see it. If not, if it is underground, you can't see it. No. So when anger arises, know it and see it. Know that anger has arisen and recognize that it is anger. Isn't that marvelous? When there is pride, know it and see it. When there is jealousy, know it and see it. When there is fear, no, now my mind is with fear. I am fearful. I am angry. I am hurt. Hurt means anger. So all those attributes are careless defilements in the mind which if you don't see and recognize, you can never get rid of. That is vipassana in practice. In Vipassana, we have to see our own mind with anger and understand now my mind is angry. If you know it, then you can get rid of it. If you don't know it and see it, then you can never get rid of it. That will sting you. Your own anger will hurt you. Your anger will consume you. If you don't understand that there is anger in your heart, what will happen? You succumb to the anger. No? You don't know how to get rid of it. So as soon as you're angry, you must know you're angry. If it is pride, you must know it is pride. If it is jealousy, you must know this is jealousy. This is pride. This is anger. That is the way you have to. Normally, do you see it in yourself or in others? That's the joke of the season. You see the other people, his pride. You can say, no, his anger, his pride, no, his jealousy. You see in other people, but you never see it in yourself. That is the problem. So in Vipassana, we have to see our own mind. That is called Chittanupassana. Chitta Anupassana. Sita Anuva Dakhiva. That is Vipassana. Satipatthana. So you have to be mindful of your mind. Now my mind is not good. The defilement has come, surface, and it is killing me. It can come through the sense doors or through memory. Some past incident, it can come and make you angry. Then you must know this past incident, dead and gone, things are coming back and making me angry. And this my anger, I have to see it and get rid of it. That is Vipassana. Then the other method is Samatha. That is metta bhavana. You have to switch off, understand that you are angry, give up your anger and try to do some metta bhavana. Now the Buddha is coming to that. Huh? Now where did we stop? Na anya manyasa dukkhaṃ niccaya. Don't give pain and suffering to others by show of your temper. Mata yata puttan ayusa eka putta manurakshe. Mata, the mother, eka putta, the only child. Yamse, yata means yamse. Eka putta anurakkati. Anurakkati is akshakarana. Protects, just as a mother will protect her only child. With her life. Ayusa, with her life. She will give her life even to protect that child. You can see that even animals do that. The mother always protects their children. And not the father here. Can you imagine that the Buddha refers to the mother? That's very significant. It is the mother who would sacrifice life. And the Buddha brings up the example of the mother, not the father. So, Mata Yata Nyam Putta. So actually mothers are very foolish about their children. No? Fathers are not so foolish. Isn't that funny? The mothers are so sacrificing, so foolish about their children. Just as a mother would protect her only child with her life. That means she will sacrifice her life even to protect that child. Ausa ekaputta marrakhe evampi. Evampi kyanne? E vage. Just like that. Sabba bhutesu mana sambhavaye aparimana. Can you imagine that? Just like that. Mana sambhavaye aparimana. Apramana mana sambhavaye. That all living beings, innumerable apramana, all living beings must be protected just as a mother would protect her own. What do you think metta is like? That is metta. So metta cannot be given to your child and your mother. Mage amma nidukeva, mage tata nidukeva. No mage in this business. This metta is for the entire world of living beings without exception. This is what Karaniya Metta Sutra is about. Aparimanam, apramana satvayata. Just as the mother would look after her only child and protect that child, just like that, be kind and courteous and loving and good towards the entire world of living beings. That is metta in practice. ඊළඟට මෙත්තාංච සබ්බ ලෝකස්මි. ගේන්ද බුද්ධසේ. මෙත්තාංච සබ්බ ලෝකස්මි. This loving kindness, metta, is for the whole world of living beings. Sabba lokasmi, whole world. Mana sambhavaye aparimana. Parimanayak ne. Uncountable, infinite living beings. May all living beings be well and happy, without exception. So you can't leave out your enemies. They are all included in that. You can't leave out anybody. Metta is a universal application. It's very powerful, if you can do that, my God. You have to practice that for a long time. Then it becomes just nothing. So you forgive the world. When you forgive the world, there is no anger in your heart, no? If you carry some prejudice, then you are carrying pain and suffering. People are bad in this world, that we can understand. But if we carry a prejudice, that means we are suffering. If people are bad, it is bad for them, not for me. I am not bad, why should I suffer? Huh? If they are bad, they suffer. They are doing bad karma, and they will get what they deserve. I don't have to be the agent to go and punish them. They get their natural punishment. So why do you want to worry about the world? If the world is bad, let them be bad. They get their natural punishment. Karma vipaka is there. So we have to think like that. People are bad, but I am not bad. They tell lies, I don't tell lies, finish. What do I care if they tell lies? What do I care if the world is bad? That is to say, this is that we cannot control the world. That is the idea. The world is what it is. You have to accept it. If we try to change the world, you are in trouble. You can't. So the world is bad, that we have to accept. That doesn't mean that we are bad. Okay? අන්න ඒකයි උතන තියෙන්නේ. The world is deceptive. But we are not deceiving anybody. Now we come to our famous meditation. Now only the how to do the meditation. Uddhang, all of us say it. Uddhang ado tiriyan asambada avera asapat sabbe satta bhavantu sukhita. Again. Uddhang ado chatiriyan asambada avera asapat sabbe satta bhavantu sukhita. Uddhang ado chatiriyan asambada avera asapat sabbe satta bhavantu sukhita. So this is the metta meditation, which if you practice for a long time, automatically you forgive the world. You don't carry any prejudice, you don't hurt yourself. You feel you have no anger, hatred. You have come to a point when you are perfectly happy. That's the arahant. You can go up to anagami with this. Uddham means above the entire universe. Adho means below. Tiriyanta means across. You are in the middle. Asambhada, avera, asapatta. Sabbe, satta, bhavantu. May all living beings be well and happy. Asambhada, sambhadyak noveva, abhadyak, abhadya. May they be free from pain and suffering. Avera, free from anger and hatred. Asapatta, free from enmity, enemies. And enemies, they never support each other. Enemies are always against each other. But friends are always supportive. So may the whole world of living beings be free from pain and suffering, free from anger and hatred, and free from enmity. Isn't that why the whole world is fighting? Wars, everything, enemies. They are against one another. Huh? So we have to do this alone, by ourselves. And when you keep on doing it for a long time, and the Buddha says, Tittang Charan, Tittang Charan Nisinova San. So you have to do this meditation. Titta means standing. Charan, walking. Nisinova, seated. Sayanova, lying down. Yavatasagata, until you fall asleep. Etan sating aditthaya, me maitri satya adhisthana karan. So you can do this meditation in any posture. While walking, while standing, while sitting, while lying down, until you fall asleep. Actually, I have done this meditation, that's why I am able to tell you. It is so useful. It becomes a habit of the mind. So the mind, when it is empty, you don't think of all the rubbish of the past. You do this meditation. This is a substitute. So the whole time you are relaxing. Always be with your meditation. So this metta meditation is so powerful. You forget how to get angry. Even if people are bad, you don't get angry. You feel sorry for them. So you have to practice that meditation. Huh? Then Brahma Metta Viharam. This is the Brahma. Mahabrahma is supposed to be having this metta, karuna, mudita, upeksha. Make it again Brahma Viharani. The Brahma is so powerful because he has loving kindness, metta, compassion, karuna, then mudita is altruistic joy at others, and upekka, equanimity. It is the abode of the Brahma. In other words, you become equal to the Brahma if you practice this loving kindness. So you become divine. You are in this world, while you are a human being, you are a divine person. They are like that. So you have to be divine. So practice this loving kindness. Brahma metam vihara. This is the meditation of the Mahabrahma. He is supposed to have those 4 attributes. Dittincha anupagama. ඔතන තමයි තියෙන්නේ දිට්ඨි කියන එක. දිට්ඨි කියන්නේ දෘෂ්ටිනේ. View. To have the right view and not the wrong view. ඒක තමයි මේ බුදුහාමුදුරන්ගේ ධර්මය. Like right view is seeing the 4 noble truths and all the Dhamma. So the one who knows the Dhamma has the right view. Anupagama, Silava. And Silava means virtuous. You keep precepts. You don't break the precepts. Huh? Dassanena. Dassana කියන්නේ උතන විදර්ශනාවට. Dassana means vidarsana. That means vipassana. That means mindfulness. Sampanno, mindfulness of body, mindfulness of thought, mindfulness of feelings, mindfulness of objects of the mind. So you have to be very vigilant about what you are thinking. Kame suvinaya gedai. Such a person will give up sensual pleasure. He has no care for sensual pleasure because he has so much more pleasure in doing metta. Normally, people think it is only sensual pleasure that gives them happiness. But the one who practices metta finds that doing metta is much, much better pleasure than catering for sensual pleasure. So we don't miss sensual pleasure. Now, for instance, now we are in our center. We hardly see anything. We don't have newspapers. We don't have radio, TV. We don't have vehicle, nothing. But we don't miss any of these things. Because when you have metta in your mind, and your mind is not turbulent, not upset, so we don't miss any of these things. Very funny but true. Huh? So, if you practice this meditation. Uddhang adocha tiryancha sambhada avera sabbe satta bhavantu. Yoga kiya in Das Puran. When you are in trouble, when you have an upset, you just say it. Then you forget. Then automatically the problem is solved. You don't have to solve any problem. So problem gets solved without your interfering. Isn't that lovely? Now I have tested it out now in the center. Sometimes there are two Tamil workers. They bring out all their problems and say somebody has done something and something and something. Now I can't solve these problems. How can I? I just keep quiet and I do my metta bhavana, get my mind off the problem. And next day he comes. Then he knows that I am not angry or hurt or anything. And now he also forgets the problem. Yeah, please. Anik yaar, but I am you have to.
When I come home, I will keep on saying that. So when I come home, she's all the time mad.
I can.
She's mad when you're
I
not
will.
in the house.
Can you say it in a way I can understand? When you come home,
Can he chant this when he's at
ah,
home? He wants to know, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, when he chants it, will the other person's anger come down?
no. You know what happens?
Sorry.
When you don't respond, now listen, when you don't respond, that person also forgets the problem. And he knows that you are not angry. If you are not angry, he doesn't care. But it happens like that. So long as you are not angry, there is no problem. What does it matter? He will say 101 things. But you are not angry. Then where is the problem? If you take up kajal, then there is a problem. Okay? Sadhu kiyana, meka tamai karandone. Don't respond to other people's problems. Don't respond. Don't get angry because of other people. How to don't get angry. They are bad, definitely. What to do? It's your wife, your child. What to do? Huh? Your mother? Huh? Huh? Oh, you have to understand, why didn't I get a better wife then? You better just keep quiet and be satisfied. Why didn't I get a better man like this? Why didn't I get a better mother like this? Why didn't I get more money and something? That's what you deserve, so be happy. She good enough for you. Not too bad, not too good. That's your exercise. No, I get what I deserve, no? Why didn't I get born to the Queen of England? That's what I deserve, to be born into this family. I have to accept it. You don't worry about your child. Don't get upset because that's the child that you deserve. You can't help it. That karma vipaka is something that has a big say in this, which we don't understand. Karma vipaka, we don't know why we were born into this world, why we were born into this family, why we got relations and friends and wives and husbands like this. There's a mixture of good and bad. They are not totally bad, not totally good. So you have to be satisfied. Okay? Have I said enough? Be satisfied. Don't get angry. Only don't get angry. What you have to do is don't respond with anger. People are bad, but don't respond with anger. If you get angry, then it is your problem. You see that? If you get angry and say things, then it becomes your problem. You have accepted it. Don't accept it. Isn't that marvelous? Can you stay like that? When people are bad, so let them be bad. Who cares? I'm not bad. Always tell yourself. If they are bad, it's okay. I'm not bad. So what do I care? Huh? ආයත් කියන්න.
Not me, not another.
Right, so I don't know what you mean by that.
Not me,
Nacha so, nacha anyame, not he, not another. Huh?
won't it work then?
I don't know whether that will work. Not he, no, I don't think it works like that. This is entirely metta bhavana. You can't disclaim. You can't disclaim your wife. You can't disclaim your husband. You can't disclaim your child. He's not. You can't say that. You have to say, he's bad. What to do? That's what we decide. Don't get angry. Be supportive. Now she will tell you her trouble. No? So now what you have to do is not go against it, but support it. Now she says, I have to do all the housework. Then what must you do? Help her with the housework. Finish. Isn't that marvelous? So, when somebody, that I do often, when those Tamil people working, they say something, what I do is, I give them some money or some gift. Then they know that everything is over. They don't come against you. Do some little thing like that. Show your love. What they need is that security. Your security they don't get. That's why they are fighting. So when you take her out and have a dinner out, or give a present, or show something, then the whole thing fizzles away. Without getting angry. I can. Don't put it to karma also. It is a karma, all right. But to solve the karma, you have to do something. So I do that often, what? I'm not at all angry with anybody. So when I find that person is a suffering person, then I give her some money. Then she's quite happy. Or I give some food or something special. Then the fight is over. Believe me, it works. But if I get angry, then there is a big problem. No getting angry. That means they are asking for attention. They are asking for support. They are asking for love. They are asking for something, That's why, then you have to give that. Otherwise, how to live? You can't be fighting. If the mother is fighting like that, you have to give her something and satisfy her. Finish. No, speak a few words. Now, not getting angry is the problem here, not that. You can't get angry because of other people. That is the thing here to understand. Other people are always sparking you. They are sparking your anger. That is true. Don't get angry.
moment to moment
Now, when there is a problem, that's the way to solve the problem. Without getting angry and punishing, you can't get angry. How can you get angry and stay under the same roof? Your servants are bad, wife is bad, husband is bad, 2 children are bad. How to live with them? So when they are bad, you have to satisfy them and give them some small token of love. Finish the problem. No fighting. You see that? Otherwise, how to live? Always give some love. I used to tell you that story, the Chinese monk. Do you remember? There was a woman, she came crying and told the Chinese monk, he's a master, a very big person, and said that her husband has got involved with another woman and she's missing him. No money, nothing. Then you know what the monk scolded her. You must have been a bad wife. You would have been always hurting him and sort of irritating him. That's why he has found another woman and chased her away. Then the woman went home and thought, yes, I think I was a bad wife. I used to always be critical and worrying him. That's why he has left me and gone. And now she changed. Then whenever he comes or meet, she is trying to please him and giving him all the food and smiling and accepting him and actually trying to make him happy. Then after a few weeks or something, the husband said, you have changed, you are not like that. She said, yes, I I met Master Singh and he told me, you have to give love to get love. So I am doing that now. And after some time the man gave up the woman, came back to the wife. So that's a little story for us. Actually, you have to give love to get love. Loving kindness. You have to give loving kindness to get loving kindness. Very difficult, but you have to practice that. You have to give love to get love. No? It doesn't cost anything only to give up your pride. You have to give up your pride and be humble. Then you give love. Finish. ඉවරද දාලි? කාමේසු විනය්‍ය ගේදා නහි ජාතු ගබ්බසෙය්‍යා. ඒ කියන්නේ අනාගාමී වෙන්න පුළුවන් මේ මෛත්‍රී භාවනාව. ගබ්බසෙය්‍යං කියන්නේ ගර්භයක නිදා ගන්න. That is to say, you will never more sleep in a mother's womb. You won't come back to a human life. You will be always living in a divine place and you will put an end to samsara. Sadhu kyanna. So it means so much for us to practice this loving kindness meditation. We don't have to do anything else. If you can practice this, that's enough.
Why is it that it doesn't to become rahat? It can't go up to rahat, is it?
අයියෙන් කියන්න දාලි.
Rahat, this doesn't take up to Rahat.
රහත් වෙන්න බැරි මොකද දන්නවද? පුද්ගල සංඥාවක් තියෙනවනේ. මෛත්‍රී භාවනාව is done නාම රූප කියලා not to a mind and body. Then when you analyze the body being into mind and body, then only you understand the anicca dukkha anatta. But here you don't. You only focus on living beings. They are with their mind and body together. That's why. So when you see the mind and body separate and they are anicca dukkha anatta, that's the end of it. Okay? පුද්ගල සංඥාවක් තියෙනවා. Okay.
Question?
11:42.
One question.
Yeah.
Subhara කිව්වම අර don't carry any burden කිව්වනේ. Now we have already got all these responsibilities.
No. Those are ඒවට තියෙන තණ්හාව නැති කරනවා මිසක් ඒව නැති කරන්න එපා. You definite. If you don't maintain at a beautiful place, how can we meet? Don't give up your carpets, don't give up the beautiful hangings, don't give up all the luxuries. Only don't be attached to them. If you are attached to them, it's a trouble. What time if you have 5 BMWs? Good, no? All of us can share. It's nothing wrong with the BMW. It is that attachment that is not bad. Huh?
But ek තියෙන හන්දනේ ගන්න ඊළඟ එකයි.
So you better keep up with it, but don't be attached to it, but have a nice house without being attached. Huh? Knowing very well I have to leave this any minute. මේ ඔක්කොම දාලා නේද යන්නේ. ඉතින් මේවා ඇඟේ ඉල්ල ගන්න ඕනේ නේ. Now I have a nice meditation center. But I don't care. Any minute I can leave it and die. I'm not going to carry those things. It will be left behind, so why must you be attached to it? ඒවා කඩලම් බිඳුනාම දුක් වෙන්න එපා. ඒවා හැටි. Okay? So you have to have things, but not be attached to those things. Okay? That doesn't mean that you have to give up all the beautiful things, not on your life. You have to look after them. But it means a problem for you because you have to look after them. කඩෙන්න බිඳෙන්නේ නැතුව ලස්සනට maintain කරන්න ඕනේ. ඒක trouble. You have to do it. You have got caught to a whirlwind. You can't run out. You have to go. Now if you're stuck in a what do you call traffic jam. You can't stop and say I'm not going. You have to go. So you better stay with your status. Your status is important. Maintain it, but without attachment. Okay.